Come here, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Real estate for most people is an emotional decision, whether you're deciding to buy or to rent. Especially under these market conditions, it's more important than ever that you can maximize the value of your property. I'm going to help you understand what areas to invest that are the lowest cost, the easiest to implement, and also have the highest return. And I'm also going to help you avoid areas that will result in you spending a lot of money, wasting a lot of time, and maybe not getting any return at all. Section 1, paint. So what is the first thing you would notice when you walk into someone's home? It's something at eye level that might be obvious to you, but it's the paint. And depending on the age of the home and when it was last painted, this may date the home. It might be extreme in terms of the color choices that are very particular to the taste of the homeowner, or it could be a modern, neutral color. So there are two ways to go with painting. You can hire professionals or you can try and tackle it yourself. If you hire professionals, expect to pay at least $500 a room or more if you have a complex 2-story room to paint. And that is a very easy process. You look around Google, check out the reviews, find someone and book their services. And it's really important and ideal to try and batch all their painting at once so you can avoid a lot of costs of them coming and going from your property. Look for a high quality paint that's relatively affordable. You want to stick, in my opinion, with tried and true brands like Sherwin-Williams and Benjamin Moore. You can't go wrong with either of these. They're timeless, their quality, they last, and this is what professional painters use. As another option, you can try and tackle painting yourself. And it's really not that hard, especially if you go out and get the right materials. So the types of materials you need are drop cloths, you want a painter pole and roller, brushes for cut-in. You can also buy tape in addition to drop cloths to help protect your furniture and fixtures. Let's go back to the $500 room professional painter. You can probably paint a room including prep, 2 coats, and drying time in about 4 hours. By just buying those supplies and the materials yourself, you can roughly make $100 to $150 an hour depending on how efficiently you can work. Either of these options is going to have a huge return. Most real estate periodicals have shown that a modern neutral paint color bring a return of 3 to 4 times your investment. Especially if you do this work yourself, it can be even higher. So a very easy way to have a fresh, clean look to your home, cover up years of cooking odors, and give anyone looking at your property either to buy or to rent a lot of incentive to feel like you've taken great care of it and that they really would love to live there. Section 2, flooring. So closely after walls and paint, what is the next thing you notice in someone's home? It's got to be the flooring. And there are soft floorings, there are hard floorings, there's a whole range of synthetic and natural materials. It can be very confusing to decide what direction to go. So the highest impact, lowest cost approach to start with is refurbishing the flooring you have. So for example, let's say you have carpets in bedrooms, which are a perfect option, provide lots of warmth, and are most often preferred in that part of the home. Is it a modern color and can it just be shampooed and cleaned? If this is the case, you can bring all new life into that carpet. However, if it's a dated color or worn beyond revival, you can just look at replacing it. And carpet is very inexpensive and easy to install. It starts as low as about $1 a square foot, and you can use this anywhere appropriate. Obviously, avoid putting carpet in any areas that have a lot of water, such as bathrooms and kitchens. All other areas of your home, it could be a great, low-cost, easy way to freshen things up. Another great option to consider if you have existing hardwood floors is what you can do to refurbish those. If they're looking a bit worn, or maybe the stain dates it to a different era of home ownership, definitely look at sanding and refinishing those floors. There are lots of great companies all over the United States who specialize in this, and it typically costs between $1 to $2 per square foot, and you can very quickly bring existing hardwoods back to life. It takes a little more time, there's some odors to deal with. Definitely look into the water-based solutions. They're quicker, they have lower odor. In addition, you can look at different stain options. I recommend lighter color floors because they best hide dirt and dust, and they also make the area look bigger and brighter. If neither of those options appeal to you, third choice that is what professional renovators look at is luxury vinyl plank. They make this product synthetically to look just like tile or hardwood, but it's incredibly easy to cut and install, and it allows you to quickly transform any room in your home to hardwood or tile instantly. And you may be thinking, what about other natural materials like hardwood or ceramic tile? These are certainly things you can consider. They're going to be more expensive and likely have a lower return on investment, but if you have a higher end property in a higher end area, these might be the appropriate choice for you. All of these, though, overall are relatively low cost and easy to implement that can easily transform a room to look modern, clean, and fresh. A great complement for any current paint job. Section 3, electrical and lighting fixtures. Have you ever walked into a home and seen that classic brass chandelier from the 1980s and thought, wow, I've just went back in time? If this is the case, this might be an easy area where you could add some new life to your fixtures. This doesn't have to be very expensive, but you want to pick fixtures that have broad appeal. You can probably find some great options at your local Lowe's or Home Depot, but you can even explore online as well, such as lampsplus.com. You may need chandeliers, you may want simple bubble lights, depending on the area, or you might just want to freshen up some of the can or recessed lighting with current lighting colors. Definitely consider LEDs for their energy efficiency and ability to project multiple colors of light. This can really brighten up a room and make the area look bigger, particularly if you're showing your home in the evenings. This could very easily bring a modern, updated look to complement what you've already done with paint and flooring. Section 4, outlets, switches, and outlet covers. This is an often overlooked detail that's very low cost but has a dramatic impact. Have you ever walked into someone's home, looked at light switches and found them to be really grimy, dirty, or have outlet covers that are very old, dated, yellowed, or brown looking? Exactly. It's an instant turn off and it dates a home to the era that those were previously installed. The great news is switches, outlets, and outlet covers are pennies to dollars. Very small investment, depending on the labor it takes to install them, unless you're comfortable to do that yourself, but it's an easy way to clean these up. Even taking a toothbrush and just cleaning up around the outlets and switches, taking off any paint overspray around them, goes a long way in showing your attention to detail. And if you even want a little bonus to really impress people who are looking closely, line up all the screws so they're facing in the same direction. They'll be blown away by how much attention to detail you have. Section 5, kitchens. This is an area where it's extremely easy to get carried away, so I really want to make sure we don't do that in this case. The typical kitchen renovation you think of is hiring a large home remodeling company. They come in, they gut everything down to the studs, and you go brand new with everything. This is not cost efficient at all. It's certainly great if you're trying to build your dream kitchen and you want to enjoy it for years to come, but if you're planning to sell or rent your property, this is going to net you a very poor return on investment. What I recommend here is focusing on the existing things that you have in the kitchen and making them look as clean and modern as possible. For example, if you have kitchen cabinets that are great hardwood oak, why would you want to rip those out? But say they're stained naturally and they show off the natural beauty of that wood. Unfortunately, in today's modern taste, that is a huge turnoff that dates your home back to the 1990s. A simple thing that you can do to give a whole new modern appeal to these cabinets is to paint them. Modern colors are in the white and off gray shade, but you can check out any new construction examples to get an idea of what the preferred modern kitchens look like. You combine this with just putting some new hardware, pulls and knobs on those existing cabinets, and it'll look like you installed a brand new kitchen. You will be blown away, I guarantee it. In addition, take a look at your countertops. Are they in good condition? If so, you can probably leave them alone. But if they're looking very worn, definitely consider placement of that. This could be a synthetic countertop of your choosing that looks really nice, or maybe a piece of granite or quartz. And this will depend on the type of market you're in, what's appropriate. But countertops will be relatively low cost to install relative to replacing a full kitchen, so an easy win there. And the last big impact item in the kitchen are your appliances. So you definitely want to have them consistent in color if possible, the same brand as well, just so they have a similar styling. Highly recommend you consider either stainless steel or dark black, since that tends to complement most colors and it looks clean and modern. One area that shows a lot of appeal too with refrigerator is if you get an automated ice dispenser and water dispenser. This just adds a whole nother level of luxury to the kitchen that helps people avoid lugging around large quantities of water and really adds to their convenience. So you'll go a long way with impressing. So instead of spending $100,000 to renovate your entire kitchen, these couple of ideas, by updating your appliances, painting your cabinets to a modern color, changing the hardware, and then refreshing your countertops if needed, could allow you to spend a few $1,000s, but return potentially tens, if not hundreds of $1,000s, depending on the size of your home and the market you're in. So definitely easy ways to squeeze out some extra potential in your kitchen without going overboard and living through a massive renovation. Section 6, bathrooms. Like kitchens, this is another area where it's very easy to get carried away. But here we're going to try and focus on the things that are easy to implement and will get you the most bang for your buck. Like things we've already covered, paint and flooring are key, low-cost ways to freshen up a bathroom. But then what about the vanity and the fixtures and the toilet and the tub and shower areas? So let's start with each of those. So first, the vanity. Ideally, especially if it's good quality wood, you want to keep this in place. If it's not a current modern look and color, paint it. Easy to do. Bring it up to the modern era, add new hardware, and you've got what looks to be a brand new vanity. But if not, you can consider replacing that if it's really worn and beat up. Same thing goes with the countertops. If they're in good shape and they're current looking, you can leave them alone, but this might be an area to consider a replacement as well. Faucet. Very inexpensive. You can find some great options around $100 that are high quality from no name brands that'll give you a current modern look. So definitely check out and consider that as part of your overall bathroom reno. And then the toilet is in good condition. Perhaps it just needs a new toilet seat, but if you need to bring it up to the modern era in terms of color, toilets are inexpensive, a few $100s max if you're sticking to the major brands, and that can add a brand new experience to the area. Now, what about the shower? If you have tile and a tub that's in good condition, you have the option to respray them to give them a brand new look. This is easy to implement. It won't last forever, it takes about a day, but you can paint the existing tile and tub to look brand new for a very reasonable cost. If that's not appropriate for your area, or you have a very worn out tub and tile surround, then you can of course look for tub and tile replacements, get that taken care of, and then as well as the trim plates and valves on your shower fixtures. But to the most extent, try and reuse what you have and just make it as cosmetically appealing as possible. This will get you the most bang for your dollar. Section 7, bonus hardware. So this is an area that often goes overlooked that's incredibly easy to implement, but once you notice it, you'll be immediately turned off in every house you see this in. Imagine you've got a house that was built in the 80s and very popular at that time was shiny brass. If you still see that today though, it incredibly dates the house to that era. But this is incredibly easy to remedy. You can go to your local home improvement store, find doorknobs and locks that match the current color decors you're trying to go after. If you're trying to be more trendy, you can go after the dark bronze, but you can't go wrong with stainless steel. And there are even some current re-trending brass options out there, but those are a little more dangerous and speculative to go after because they could be very short-lived trends. So these are something you can go around to each door in your home, change the knobs, but also make sure you change the hinges so they actually match, or it's going to look very poor to have the mismatch at every door. Especially on the front door, give them a fresh, clean look, and this will also make the handoff for the new homeowner easier because you'll have a set of keys brand new and ready to go. Section 8. So what areas do you need to avoid? This is generally everything behind the scenes in your house that you can't see, touch, or feel and doesn't really have any emotional impact unless it's creating a problem in the home. So think of siding, roofing, your HVAC system, your water heater, the plumbing behind the walls, the electrical behind the walls. All these things play a critical role in the function of your house, but unless they're broken, they're not creating any type of direct, aha, this is making my home ownership experience or rental experience much better. So obviously, if you have a leaking roof or a broken appliance, it should be at least repaired, if not replaced, if that's not a viable option. But look at avoiding getting carried away in massive renovations, improving areas of your home that'll have very little return on investment. You can definitely expect to get less than $1 per dollar invested in these types of areas, with a few rare exceptions. Conversely, when you spend on those other simple things like paint, flooring, electrical fixtures, etc., you can get 2, 3, 4, 5 times your investment, depending on if you hired someone or completed the work yourself. Section 9, so let's wrap it all up. So we talked about real estate being an emotional decision for most people, and the things that they actually care about are the things they can see, feel, and touch on a day-to-day basis. So you want to be thinking about and planning your updates to either sell or rent your home. The walls and the paint, make sure you stick to neutral, current trending colors that make sense. The flooring, either renovating, repairing it, or replacing with low-cost luxury vinyl plank. You definitely want to look at your electrical, do the fixtures in terms of chandeliers and lights, match the overall ambiance of the home to make it look clean and modern. Are all the switches and outlets in good condition and a current color and clean? Are you taking care of doing the basics in the kitchen and the bathrooms so that they look nice and presentable? They don't have to be the $1 million showrooms on TV that take months to renovate. And are you avoiding those types of updates that have little return on investment? Those are the things that are behind the scenes, in the walls, the roof, the siding. Unless they're broken of damage, of course, repair them. But these are likely to have very little return. Hope these tips were helpful for you and help bring you additional value whether you're selling or renting your home. These come from years of experience personally, as well as studying some of the best real estate investors in the world. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for joining me in Matt Shoe Capital.